going on, people? Welcome back to AFTV. As you can see, we're outside the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium for tomorrow night's game against Seville. 8 p.m. kickoff in the UK, but here, local time, 9 p.m. kickoff in the Champions League. And do you know what? On paper, when we got announced the group was in, they would have said we were probably favourites, and Seville would have been second favourites, you know, to be second or top of the group. Hasn't gone that way. Arsenal's currently top of the group with 4 points. We're in second with 3 points, and they're in third with 2 points. They've got 2 draws. We've won and lost a game. Big game come Tuesday night. Lee, how you feeling for it?
A little bit nervous, as it happens. I've got to say, we've definitely got to get something from the game. We can't afford to lose this game. I think if we lose this game, we're in very, very big danger of going out. You know, and
really,
being
that's serious?
Really, because it puts a lot of pressure on the 2 home games, and of course, then you know we're going to have to go to Eindhoven and get something, which we know from last season it's not easy. So. I think I'd take a point now. If you said to me, like, if we was good to draw this game, I think, you know, I'll take that. Listen, Real Madrid have come here at the weekend and got a point. Draw, yeah. So this is going to be a very, very tough game, and Arsenal got to be on their mettle tomorrow.
Would you take a point, Julian? Lee said he'll take a point here. Would you take a point?
Yes.
Oh, you would? Oh, you agree?
Yeah,
you agree with Lee?
Yeah.
That's a first.
That's a first.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with Lee. And I mean, up to this point, I wouldn't say I've been arrogant, but I've been very confident when we play certain teams. And over the years, I've been quite surprised that we lose to teams that on paper we should beat. When I look at some of the leagues we've played, some of the teams, some of the performances that the teams have had historically before they play us, I look and I think we're definitely going to win. But too often we've come to places like this when they've had poor performances, and up to this point their season hasn't been great. And we've lost the games, and I couldn't quite understand it. The only thing that kind of dawned on me on the way here, I was trying to do some research, because the reality is, up to a couple of hours ago, I knew very little about Seville. And I think that could be one of the issues we've got, is that we play certain teams, and we've been playing them for years, like Chelsea. We knew exactly what we were going to expect from Chelsea, but we're coming here and it's pretty much the unknown. I just hope Arteta and his team have done the research that we haven't.
Well, listen, we know, you know, they won the Europa League last season, and you know, they've got good European heritage. They've got some good players as well. You mentioned they played they played against Real Madrid on the weekend, but they've obviously got Sergio Ramos, who was quite cheeky in that game. He was grabbing up Rudiger's face, and he hit Jude Bellingham in the face. So he's obviously going to be physical. He's going to play out his dark arts there. He's got Acuna, who's the Argentinian fullback, obviously a World Cup winner. The likes of Lamela, we spoke about in the car. You know, and then Januzaj, their striker as well. They're quite a good team. I think there's a lot to worry about when it comes. I don't want to say worry, because Arsenal should be getting the job done, but I don't want to go in with that mindset of we should get the job done, because that's what I thought with RC Lons, and we struggled massively, Lee.
No, and also our record in Europe, and particularly under Mikel, isn't very, very good. You know, it was a poor Europa League last season, I felt. I didn't think we really convincing in any sort of game away from home. Even Bodo, we was just talking about that, much better conditions, by the way, than Bodo.
Sunny over here.
But like we struggled a little bit in games, and you know, we went out to a team, you know, really, you know, in Sporting last season, we went to Sporting, got a draw, and then we couldn't get the job done at home. So it is going to be difficult, and I think it's a learning curve for the manager as well as the team. I'll tell you what, a little bit of learning curve for us supporters as well, because I think most of us felt that we was going to go to Lons and get the victory. It was after the first half you sort of took back and said, wow, that was a good side, you know what I mean? And like, have we underestimated this? So like, no, I'm not underestimating this thing. Look, they've got a new manager now. You look around there, it's just a club that's steeped in a bit of history. They've won serial Europa League, so they know what to do in Europe. So I think it's going to be a very, very difficult game for us, and I expect it to be as well.
I know this is quite a broad question, Julian, but is Arteta under pressure? Lee said, you know, he has to win this, or he has to win this game because he might be in trouble coming into, you know, the kind of latter stages of the Champions League group stages. Is he under pressure? Obviously, Chelsea, we had played Chelsea, and we weren't great in that game. We come out of a point. Do you think the boys will be able to bounce back, and is he under pressure for this game?
He's definitely not under pressure. You're talking about being under pressure for his job.
Well, just under pressure. No, I wouldn't say his job, but just under pressure to get a win, because I think,
qualify.
To get through.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to be under pressure being the Arsenal manager, because the expectations are so high. is he under pressure for this particular tournament? No, it is our first kind of saute into this tournament for 7 years. Our expectations seem to be that we're going to win it, but I don't think we're going to, because it is a different type of football.
But is that the pressure that he might be feeling though, in the sense of like, you know, we haven't been, me and Lee, we mentioned on the way here, like that we're not really clicking and playing the fluid football we saw of last season. Is there a pressure there? Because you just said we don't think we're going to win the Champions League, but I think a lot of the fan, we don't think we're going to win the Champions League. I think a lot of fan base expects us to go quite far in it.
I think even if we lose, I think we'll still qualify.
Okay.
But I think it's really important for us to qualify in first place, because if we get one of those big hitters in the round of 16, then I think we're back to where we were 7-8 years ago, and it just carried on. We'd always get through the group stage and we'd get a big team and we just wouldn't be able to stomach it. So I think it is important for us to not only qualify, but qualify in first place.
Yeah. It's really interesting that Julian said that, because I remember on a stream that he actually said, like, you know, I think we've got a good chance of winning the Champions League.
Oh.
But no, listen, and I'm not having a dig there. I am, but also I felt that as well. But I'm going to be honest, the Lons game sort of shocked me a little bit how much better
I agree.
they were than us, and how poor that we was on that night.
Will these be better than? Do you think they'll be better than? They should be better.
Well,
it's hard to call it, isn't it?
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not, because I was very impressed with Lons after that game. Maybe the hype of them being their first game in the Champions League for 20 years, I don't know. The atmosphere was electric going into the ground before the game. So I don't know, but I have to say, from my point of view, it sort of stunned me how good the opposition was, and that's a Lons team which we know is not going to go on and win it, and how actually poor we was on the night, you know, like silly mistakes and everything like that. Listen, I think Arsenal and under Arteta over in the past have learnt from their mistakes very, very quickly. Hopefully they'll learn from what happened in Lons and bring it into this game and do it a lot better. And hopefully, like when we look back at the Premier game against Chelsea, we'll do the same. I do see both games completely different. I think tactically it's a different game. As I say, I think maybe a little bit advantage to us is that we don't have to win the game, where I feel that Seville probably feel that they may have to win the game. So I think that could be an advantage.
Can that go against us? It can go either way, surely.
Well, this is where I think tactics and the manager come into probably more scrutiny in Europe than probably the Premier League. So it'll be interesting how he sets up with the team and the way he goes for it. How are we going to try and dominate? Listen, if you come here and you get a boring 0-0, it ain't the end of the world, you know what I mean? But if you went to Chelsea or you went to something like that in the Premier League, there'd be questions being asked. But in Europe, I think, you know, as a fan, I know that there's a lot of it tactical that you have to get in there. It is about just getting through. Julian's right, you know, we've got, first and foremost got to qualify, but ideally want to do it in top spot. Yeah,
in top spot. Anything you want to say off the back of that, of what Lee just said there? Because we want to finish in top spot. It will be a tricky game. Off the back of, you know, the Chelsea game, I think there is, listen, we're going to do a Predict 11 video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But like, there is still some questions, who's going to start? Would you go full strength for this game, Julian? Because Saturday is Sheffield. Realistically, I think a lot of us would expect a full strength side. Would you be going full strength against Seville tomorrow night?
I'd absolutely go full strength, and one of the reasons for that is Seville, as we quite rightly pointed out, were there in pot one. They were, or should have been, the favourites for this group. Yeah. Now, if we do beat them tomorrow, that almost puts them out, and it kind of eliminates what should have been our tightest opponent. Yeah. So that's great. PSV, I think, are PSV at home tomorrow against Lons?
Against Lons, I think they are. Yeah, but no, they're not. I think Lons are at home.
Okay, but whatever that is, home or away, if PSV, who aren't a bad team at all, get a result against Lons, and we can then get the result here, we don't only just not quite eliminate, but put it very, very difficult for Seville to then qualify, but then the group's so much in our hands. Okay. And it's a group that, again, we should be winning. So we have had a glitch. We were slightly unlucky at Lons. I mean, everything did go their way. We didn't play great, but it didn't quite rub for us, did it?
Yeah, it didn't. It really didn't. But listen, boys, now's time. Score predictions. I'll let you start, Lee. You've got the mic in your hand as much as Julian wants to take this mic. I'll let you start on the score prediction.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw tomorrow. I've actually, in Forever Arsenal, I've actually gone for an Arsenal win because everybody else went for a draw. But my gut feeling is 1-1.
Yeah.
So and listen, if it finishes, I love Arsenal to win this, as Julian said. It'd been fantastic, but I wouldn't be too disappointed if we got a draw. And I think 1-1. That's what I think. Would I be disappointed with that? Yeah, because you want to win the game, of course. But in the context of it all, we've got to get something from this game tomorrow. So I'm going to go for a draw.
Would you take? I know you said you would take a draw as well. You agreed with Lee, but where are you at for score prediction in this game? This one's actually hard to call. I'm having an internal battle now, mentally, of would I be happy with a draw? I know you said a lot of you would be like, "Echo, we'll take it. We'll move on. Wait till the reverse fixture." But how do you think this game's going to play out, Jane? What score prediction are you going with?
Yeah, there's a few things going on in my head. First one is their performances this season, which haven't been great. But
Lons was the same before they played us.
Exactly. And the other part of it is they've got a new manager. They've already had that new manager bounce. I mean, they've played Real Madrid. We've had a look at the stats. It looked pretty even from what I've read of the match report. I didn't see the match, but it looks pretty even. Now, to take on a team like Real Madrid, who are, they're top of the Spanish league. The Spanish league is one of the top leagues in the world. They've got a draw, and they weren't unlucky to get a draw. So they're on form. We could be playing them at exactly the wrong time. However, Arsenal had a bad performance on Saturday. One thing we've seen about Arteta and Arsenal over the years is they usually bounce back. So I think we're going to get the performance. They're going to play well, but I think we're going to beat them 2-1, 3-1. I think we're going to score goals.
As you're speaking now, I'm trying to make my decision of what I think how it's going to play out. I think I'm going to side more with you than Julian and your Forever Arsenal buddies who predicted a draw. I think I'm going to go 2-1 as well.
Love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I think the people in the comments, people watching, will know every time I'm confident things don't always go well for Arsenal. But I wouldn't say I'm infused with confidence. I just feel like you mentioned, after Chelsea, I think the boys have to show a performance. I think they're going to go super strong because on the weekend, we have Sheffield. I don't want to disrespect them too much, but
not at all.
No, I expect Arsenal to take this game with 100% full seriousness, and then Sheffield I think will be quite comfortable. We're at home, so I think we're going to go full shot. I think it'll be a 2-1. I want to see more than 2-1. I would love a 3-1. I'd love a 4-1, but I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Arsenal, and let's hope it does be that result, or even more. It'd be nice to enjoy a good game, enjoy a good win, speak to fans, and have a nice night in sunny Seville.
Since we've got here in sunny Spain and going around the stadium and all that, like a couple of things, but it has to be mentioned, Jose Reyes.
Yeah, he played there,
obviously, he started his career here, and tragic passing.
Yeah.
But what a player he was for us as well, and I've got that little Reyes feelings today, so
little Reyes vibes.
I know that. And can we have a look at that memorial?
Yeah, I don't know if
at the back. Can you see that?
I don't know if you can see that. I mean, I'm
there's
sure
only
we'll
one
zoom in on
London. There's one English club there.
Yeah, so we'll be bemused by this a little bit. So this is a question to the comments and the people that are watching. Why is it just the only English club on there is the Arsenal crest? Even though it is a little bit damaged, but I'm not going to disrespect the stadium because it's just a lovely stadium from the outside. I can't wait to be in there tomorrow. But it has got a little bit of, a little tile.
There's a little touch up, doesn't it?
Yeah. But the only English team there is Arsenal, and I'd love to know why that is on the outside of the stadium. But yeah, a little bit of information for you while we're here, and stay up to date with all the content we're bringing you here on AFTV and the build up to this game. And we're going around sunny Seville and giving you everything in the build up. And of course, AFTV will be giving you the build up as well on the Starting 11 show, the watch along, and the fan zone after. We can get your thoughts and feelings on the game come Tuesday night. We'll see you again very soon. Take care. Like the video if you like the video. We'll be back very soon. Peace.